Hi friends, let's do a mid-March reading and watching wrap up. All right everyone, so at the date that I'm filming this, we are officially halfway through March. So I thought I would do a reading wrap up and kind of give you guys a glimpse into what I've been reading this month and also what I've been watching this month and see if we've read any of the same books and can chat about them. So first up, I finished Love is the Way by Bishop Michael Curry. And I really liked this one. I gave it 5 stars. It was just the right book for me at the right time. If you've ever heard him speak, give a sermon, talk, he was the bishop that spoke at Harry and Meghan's wedding. So he kind of got a lot of buzz after that. And I'm pretty sure this book came out a few years afterwards, but I'm just getting around to reading it and I did love it. I read it on audio through Libby and I would highly recommend it. It talked a little bit about his life story, also how he views his faith, and also how he views connecting with others who think differently than we do. I just thought it was really well done. I liked hearing more about his life and I definitely would recommend this one, 5 stars. The next book I read, I also read it on audio. This one I read on Spotify. So I had Spotify Premium before they included the audiobooks. And I have been wanting to use that feature more because I already have it. So anyway, I read Dinner for Vampires, Life on a Cult TV Show while also being in a real life cult by Bethany Joy Lenz. This book was really good on audio because she narrates it. And this was a fascinating read. I gave this one 4 stars. When I was reading it, I felt icky. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but the way that she wrote it, you can really see how easy it is for people to get sucked into a high control group. So it just kind of, you know, when you watch like a true crime show and you just kind of feel like unsettled, that's how I felt reading this book. It was really good, but I just hate everything that happened to her. But I really liked how she's been able to redeem what she went through. And that was fun to see at the end of the book, kind of how she got out and how she's doing now. So I would definitely recommend it. This actress was on One Tree Hill, so if you're familiar with One Tree Hill, then you would probably want to read this if you haven't already heard about it. It doesn't focus too much on the show itself, but there is a little bit of the show within the book, so that's kind of fun. Okay, the third book that I've read so far this month was on Kindle Unlimited, so that is one of my reading goals this year, to read at least 1 book a month on Kindle Unlimited to justify the cost. And this month it is March Mystery Madness here on BookTube. So I've really tried to prioritize cozy mysteries, which are my preferred mysteries, and romantic suspense. So I read The Body in the Bookstore by Ellie Alexander. This is the first book in the Secret Bookcase mystery series. I really liked this one. I gave it 3.5 stars. I am excited to continue the series. It's interesting because like each individual book has a mystery to solve, but there is an overarching mystery within the whole series about her best friend who was sadly murdered. I say sadly, but like it's a cozy mystery, so someone is usually murdered in a cozy mystery. But anyway, the main character's best friend in college got killed after they like were criminology majors, I think, and they started digging into a cold case, and then her best friend like mysteriously ends up being killed before or after graduation. I can't remember. This is not really a spoiler, by the way, because this is like in the first few pages of the book, and it's an overarching theme throughout the whole series. So I am excited about the series because I'm very curious how that mystery gets solved. So like the next book will have its own individual mystery, but there's also going to be that little component of it, this like overarching mystery. So I think that'll be a lot of fun too. And the last book I read this month is The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. This is a short story. I loved this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. I just thought it was great. I love Abby Jimenez. She's one of my favorite authors. And I think I've read all of her books, including her novellas, except for one. So now I want to go back and read it. But this book is on Amazon only. I think it's an Amazon original story. So it's on Kindle Unlimited now. It's 80 pages. So I read it like in 2 days, like probably within 12 or 15 hours. So I read I started it one night and then I finished it the next afternoon. And she just has so much depth to her stories, even in the little novella length books that she writes. And I really liked the characters. I would have loved like a full length novel about these characters. I think they would have been a lot of fun to hear about their relationship and how they grew and the things that they went through, because they both had like really interesting backstories. So loved that one. Now let's talk about what I watched. So this is something that I've talked about on my Bookstagram channel for a few months now, but I started to include what I've been watching in my stories and monthly recaps. So I figured that I would start that on BookTube as well. So in the fall, I started watching Hallmark movies more consistently. I would consider myself like a casual Hallmark movie watcher before October. So I had seen them mostly around the holidays. But in October, I really started watching them more consistently going into the holiday season. And even after the holiday season, I've been trying to continue to watch them because I've been enjoying them. They are kind of like their own subgenre, I would say. And I just think that they're feel good. Yes, sometimes a little cheesy, but like for me, like that's just perfect for what I need right now. So I have really been enjoying that. So we're going to talk about the movies that came out in March so far and everything else that I've been watching. So the first royal movie was The Royal We, and that one I liked. I gave it 3 stars. Looking back, it was probably my favorite movie, which really surprises me. Like I would not have guessed that that would have been my favorite movie out of all of them going into it, but it definitely was looking back on it. So 3 stars. I liked it. I would recommend it. The next movie, which was the one I was most excited about, is The Reluctant Royal, and that one starred That one starred Andrew Walker, who is one of my favorite Hallmark actors. And guys, it pains me to say that I was so bored during this movie. Oh, I hate to say that because I know a lot of people liked it, but for me, I gave it 2.5 stars. To me, I liked it fine. Like a 2.5 stars is not, I did not like it. 2.5 stars is, I still liked it. Like on the whole, like it had some merit. It just wasn't the greatest. I just felt like it was slow. I don't know why. I felt like it was slow. I didn't feel the connection between the two love interests. I found more of a connection between the father and son dynamic. And I also just felt like Andrew was playing like a caricature of a character. And I don't usually think that that's like him. Like I think he's really good at like taking on different characters. So sadly, it was not for me. It was fine. I didn't dislike it. But man, I really thought I was going to love it. What can you do? The third movie was Royal-ish, and this one is based upon a book. And y'all, this one, I did not like this one. is the first Hallmark movie all year I have not liked. I think I'm gonna give it a 1.5 star. Um, just meh. All around meh. I checked out. Which I haven't done. I have paid close attention to the Hallmark movies that I've watched, but this one, I was like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that this amusement park princess just up and leaves her house and her roommate and goes to live with a prince because the girl's afraid to ride a horse? What is this plot line? Oh, it was just not great. It was not for me. So if you liked it and you watched it and you liked it, I mean, good for you. I'm glad. It just was not for me. So sadly, on the whole, royal themed movies, which I was really looking forward to, were not great in my opinion. They were fine, not great. So I'm ready to move on, ready to move forward. Sticking with Hallmark, not movies, I have watched only a couple of episodes of When Calls the Heart. So I am currently in the process of rewatching When Calls the Heart. I had started to watch it 2015 maybe, and I got a few seasons in, and then I stopped it. So I'm rewatching it because now it's like 12 seasons long. It's still going, and it does seem like a show that I would be interested in. So anyway, I'm going back and I'm rewatching it. I am on season 4. I'm about halfway through season 4. I still remember what's going on, so I don't know when I stopped watching it. Every time I think that I'm like, oh, I've gotten to the new part, I haven't. Something will happen in the story and I'm like, nope, I remember that. I will say season 4 I remember the most out of what I've rewatched, other than season 1. So part of me feels like this is the season that I stopped watching on. Like I watched through season 4 and then I didn't start up at season 5. So that is my guess. So we'll see. I'll report back whenever I make it to season 5. But I do recommend it. It's nice having Hallmark Plus because you can go back and watch any Hallmark movie and all of the series. So like for series that are, you know, established, like When Calls the Heart, you can go back and watch it. So that has been a great benefit for me. So that's all when it comes to Hallmark. And I did watch a new rom-com on Amazon. It was called Picture This, I'm pretty sure. And the actress was on Bridgerton. It was Anthony's wife, Simone Ashley, is that her name? And the lead male actor was the guy that played the main male character in the After series. So I was excited because I've heard about him and I really liked the actress from Bridgerton. So I was excited to see them. This movie, it was fine. I think I gave it a 3 stars. It was not a rom-com. It was like women's fiction. Like the romance was a subplot, and a very small one at that. So to me, I feel like there was not enough buy-in between the two love interests at the end for them to get together. The story was more about the female main character's life, and it was funny. There was a lot of funny moments. So it was heavy on the com, not so much the rom, but it was cute. I mean, I'm glad I watched it, but I wouldn't say that it's a favorite. And I think going into it knowing that it's more of like a women's fiction, and I hate the term women's fiction, but it's the only way that I know how to broadly relay what it's about. So like women's fiction in my mind is like a story that is driven by the female main character and her life rather than a mystery. So the driving point is the mystery, or a romance where the driving point of the story is the romance, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was fine. It was cute. It was not anything super memorable though. And the last thing I watched so far this month, which carries over from February into March, and that is Love is Blind Season 8. Y'all, what a ride we took through the Midwest. It was interesting. The weddings were not super surprising to me, except for Devin and, what is her name? Victoria? No. Maybe? I don't know. That couple, whichever couple that was, that was surprising to me. I was surprised at their wedding. So yeah, I'm glad that it's over. That's kind of how I feel at the end of every Love is Blind season. Like at the beginning of the season, I'm like glad that it started. Like I'm like, ooh, we're going back in the pods. It's going to be fun. The pods are always my favorite part. I don't really like the show too much when you get outside the pods. Gotta be honest. But I would say just not super memorable, but enjoyable, which for a reality TV show, what more can you ask for, right? So that is what I have read so far this month and what I have watched so far this month. So I hope you guys are having a good reading month. I am having a good reading month. And cheers to the last 2 weeks. We'll see what we read, see what we watch, and I'll talk to you guys soon. If you haven't already, you can like and comment. And I'd love for you to hang around and you can subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.